Okay, so you want to know the campground. In today's video, we're going to do a little deeper dive into those outlets I talked about in the previous video about plugs and outlets. I'm going to show you the kind I was talking about that are expensive versus the other kind, and maybe some my opinion on what is a better choice for cost and repair. Also, if you're building an idea of what not to do. I didn't install these pedestals, but I don't like the way they're done. At some point, I'll redo them. It's just a matter of it's hard to justify, to me at least, changing something until you need to. You know, just to change it because I don't like it. They're working. Just if I started it and did it on my own, I'd like to know this information so I wouldn't make the same mistake. That kind of thing. Anyway, also, we had we at the campground, had a special visit this week from some viewers from Rockingham came, and I got a little tidbit from them in here. So hope you enjoy it, and got any questions, please put in comment. I don't say it often, but if you want to do the subscribe and all those things, go right ahead. I don't know that it matters for me so much. I'm never going to get any money from YouTube. It's just because I feel I have some knowledge and I'm willing to pass that a little bit. So anyway, thanks. So when I made the video the other day, we talked about two different kind of outlets. This is the 30 amp in the middle there is the one I'm talking about that's aggravating to work on. Those two screws hold it to the plate. So the wiring's on the back, the plate's on the front, the screw's on the front. You don't have a lot of ways it's hard to work on. You have to pull the whole plate off, and all those wires are attached instead of being able to take the plug loose and being able to pull it in an area where you can work on the wiring. You have to have that thing sticking through the hole to attach the wires. It just doesn't make any sense. It's a stupid design. So Midwest is who make these, and they're like 20-something bucks a piece. The other kind, and I'll show a picture of it later. I hope I'm filming good. I'm not really looking. But the other kind I have has like a plate with two screws. A screw at the, let me see if I can point my finger up here without messing up too bad. Has a screw up here and a screw down here that attaches the plate. The whole thing is a plate, and it comes in from the back. So once you take this cover off, you can unscrew that, and that floats free, and then you can put it back in and attach it. It's just a stupid design. But anyway, I didn't know that when I bought these, or I probably wouldn't have got them. But anyway, it is what it is. Thanks. Okay, so I was going to try to show you on the actual one. So, like on that other kind I was talking about, the one that I don't like, this whole metal piece here, the outlet, this 30 amp outlet, is attached to it. So you have to take this whole metal piece off and still have that plug attached in there because it goes through it. This one, you can take this outside cover, this piece stays, and there's still a screw that holds that in. So you can take this loose, take this cover off, and then work on that singular outlet. These still stay in place. The other one it's just not a good design. This is a Millbank box. I think it was Heritage. But it's probably Midwest Heritage or something. I don't know. I don't know the name of them. Okay. So these are the receptacles that came with the pedestals I bought from Utility Supply Group. I like the company. Not so thrilled about these. Now, do they have other pedestals that are from a different manufacturer? Maybe. I didn't know to ask when I bought them, so I'm giving you a heads up. I don't like these, okay? First of all, they're special. They're unique. You have to get their stuff to go in their box, okay? This one was about $23 to $25. I can't remember the exact product cost. Depends on how many you buy, but you got to buy a lot to get a good discount. These, I bought some of these to have as spares. You don't have to replace 50s as much, so it's not as big a deal, but it is a unique design. You just can go to Lowe's and buy, you can go to Lowe's and buy 30 amp outlets and 50 amp outlets. You can't buy these 30 amp and 50 amp outlets at Lowe's or Home Depot or where they're special. So you got to order them, okay? Now the problem with this one, like I said, this goes through the front, and these two holes here, screw holes, screw into two little, receptacles, whatever you call them, screw threaded pieces on the back, and holds that in. So you have this big, what is it? It's say a piece of metal that's here to here long and this wide with another 20 amp outlet on the side that you got to take that whole thing out with this attached and try to slide wire in the different slots on this thing and attach it. It's stupid. I don't know who, people that design things don't ever work on them. That's a dumb design. This may be a great outlet. It may hold up forever. But if you ever have to change one, you're going to hate it. This thing, not so bad, it pops out, but once again, it's a unique design. It's not something you buy. Okay, so here's what you normally get. This is what I've been buying for years until we got these new pedestals. Now, I get them for different places and different costs and all that thing, but this is about 11 bucks maybe. These, like I said, once again, I don't replace 50s as much. I don't know the price as much. It's probably the same ballpark. But this comes in from the back. These two little holes there, one here and that one there. The screw goes through the front to hold it in place. So that's you take that cover off. You have this in your hand. You can turn it, attach your wires, then put it up to the plate and screw it in. Much easier to change out and costs a lot less. So I'm not saying not buy from Utility Supply Group. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I wouldn't buy those from Utility Supply Group. And if they say that's all they have, then maybe you say, well, you guys need to find somebody else because that's a ripoff. That's my personal opinion. So take it for what it's worth. Now I'm also going to go show you something about a meter box that I'm not happy with. I didn't install these, but just if you're building, something to think about. So that's coming next. Okay, this is a site that we've had that was here when we built the place, so it's always been here. And I didn't install any of this. Here's something you need to do if you build your own. These need to face the opposite direction. So I'm standing on the pad. So if somebody parks here and their slide is out, you have very little room to work on this thing if you have a problem. If you turn these and put them on the back or to the side even, one of those two is much better. It gives you room to work, and if their slides out, you can still, take the cover off. You can still change breakers. You can still change outlets without having to almost lay on your back to get under here sometimes. I've had it before. The slide is like almost right up against it, and it's very aggravating to do any work on those things. I didn't install these. The day is going to come when I'm going to replace them, and when I do, I will turn them around. Now these are mounted on a post. These are post mounted, which you can get those too. Not a problem. Nothing wrong with them. I think they ought to be a little higher, just because that way you're not sitting looking down the ground trying to make. Right now they're like the bottom's maybe 8 inches off the ground. I'm thinking 1.5 feet or so is good, and facing the opposite direction. We're on now, so.
Hey guys, I'm Maury Bennett from Rockingham, North Carolina, and this is my friend Janet. And we came out here to check out, seeing what this campground had to offer. We absolutely love it. And I'm looking at the idea in North Carolina to do a small 10-acre campground type of idea. We're not sure yet, so this gave us a lot of possibilities to try out and see what we like, measurements, and Brad was very kind to help us out and see what we would need, what we don't need, things that you definitely splurge on, and things that you don't have to have, and what's required, what's not. And that helps us out a whole lot with planning what we have in mind and to kind of see what we like, what we don't like. So we have picked his brain and enjoyed looking around at the different sites and different things available here, and we've enjoyed it.
Yes, the Pine Ridge Campground, we have definitely enjoyed our stay here, and thanks for having us.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
All right.